Down over here, like we have given the 7 jobs, right? This is a question of a job sequence, but using an evolutionary concept solver. As we have used the simplex LP, now but we are using a evolutionary. So write down over here as in a job sequence problem, like using the job sequence problem, but using what you are using right now, evolutionary solver, plus we use the concept of index, plus we use the concept of all different, right? Now we have the information provided to us are the job. We have given a different types of jobs. Say example, 7 jobs are given. So write it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 jobs are there. And further with the job we have given the process time. So note down over here is the process time by required by these jobs are, just note down the process time are, how much process time is there? This is the job sequence evolutionary highlighted. Process timing is for this is 4, 9, 12, 16. It is all minutes or hours. It can be depend upon the information. 9, 14, and 8. Right. Further, another information is given to us is a due date. What is the due date of getting this work is, it should be 12, 24, 60, 28, next one is 24 and 36, and the last one is 48. So these are the information which is given to us in this case study. Right. Now what we have to find out, note down over here the information which we have to find out. Processing time and due dates are given. Now what you have to find out, what must be the sequence. You have to find out the sequence. So what must be the sequence of the jobs as per you? What should be the sequence of the job, so that now the condition is there, so that the average lateness, how late they are, average lateness can be minimized. That is the most important thing you have to find in this case, that what should be the sequence and what is the job, so that the average time should be minimized. Lateness, that means how late they have completed. The time they have completed, it is given. Actually at what time they done their what task, the difference between the processing time and actually completed will be called as the lateness. And we all want to get this lateness time should be minimum as much as we can. So how we get this lateness time? With the help of the solver, but now we are using a solver of evolutionary. Why we are using evolutionary solver? Because it helps you in making the question more exactly. Hope you getting what this lateness is. Actual completion time, right? And what is the due date? You completed your work at that time, but the due date is this. If that will be called as lateness. If you have completed your work before the due date, that will be your access time. No lateness will be there. So start doing this question. Hope this numerical is like you are able to get it what the information is given in this numerical, right? So putting all these values together and find out, hurry up. So start making a model. Now we are using a sequence job sequence model. Yes, this is always called as a model. We are preparing a model. What information is given to us? Just note down over here, copy and paste. Now we are preparing one model. So write it a model, and we have to find this model. We have to find out the sequence. So write down sequence. We just provide a one sequence: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have to put and we have to find out what can be the sequence, right? I just write it over here. The job assigned, this is a sequence heading, and we have to find out in which sequence we have to assign the job. So job assigned, right? Two person will be assigned the job. We have to find it. Now the next point is your processing time for completing that work. For the job assigned and the processing time, like we already given the processing time, but the point is this: we have to take the processing time as per the sequence, So now we will using the concept of index over here. But we have to find the next point. We also find out the completion. So write it over here as completion time, right? Yes, now we start using the concept of index, and you should know how we are using the concept of index, because it is very important to apply this concept. So write it over here. Completion time, yes, you have to also find out the due date which is given to you, and lateness, how late it is, and tardiness, you have to find it, average of, as it is given, average of lateness, how late we have done us, and average of tardiness, right? Now putting all these information together, and now we find out which job should be assigned to that person. But starting up with the one we have just given a sequence, this is a basic sequence, and we have to fill the sequence with the job assigned. Before putting the job assignment, just check it how we calculate this processing time. We don't know what the assignment is, but at least if the person is doing one sequence is done by the job one, right? So how we assign it? So putting over here is the index processing time. Over the process time, write it index. Now you are using this new concept, bracket open. When you are saying it bracket open, see it is written over there, what is showing, index comma array row dash number or a column, bracket off, index references row column and the area num. So arrow is there now, right? Which array you are getting it there? So my full array is the jobs which we are getting, the job, the processing time and the due date. Select it, right? But you have to make it function F4. Why I'm doing function X4? We have to freeze this array because I use this data for my other data. Comma, now what we have to make it sure that if I'm using the job number 2, so they will start processing the time number for job number 2, right? But here, as we are not knowing about the assignment, which assignment is given on the number 1, 2, 3, but I applied this index, so how we put this value? We just make it as 2. Why we select 2? Because the processing time is given on the row column number, that's on the row number 2. 2 is given the processing time, select it 2, make it bracket and then enter. It's showing some error. Why showing error? Okay, we haven't put the function further. See, we have done 2. One more concept is showing over here, comma, we have to make a column also. The row we have selected, but we have to select the column num also, which column we are talking about. So if I am talking about the sequence 1, so I have to take the sequence, that the sequence of this one, right? That is D10, D20. D20 is on the one sequence, so I put it over here. Now bracket close and enter. Find it. What is showing? 4, 9, this, how it is showing 9? Say example, now I put over here as an assignment number 5. Check, it is showing 9. Because check it, in the 5 job, the processing time is 9, so it is showing 9. I change this to the, say example, 6. Then check the answer is showing 6, that the processing time is 14. So this is the use of the index, right? Shall I assign you once again how we have used this as process index? Okay, do it once again. Is equals to index, right? Start with the bracket, start with the array where you have selected this full index, function F4 to make it freeze, comma, your processing time is on the second row, comma, you have to select the job sequence of which assignment, the first sequence, and then bracket close and enter. Right, now when it is changed up, your processing time will definitely change up. Right, now coming up to the next point, that's a completion time. When your work is being completed, that is to be, how we can find it, like first point is my 4. When the first one is started up, processing time is 4, so 0 plus 4, that means this one my completion. Start up with 0, processing time is 4, completed. Now if I'm talking about the second one, what will we do in the second one is equals to, the processing time for the second is 9, first one is completed at 4, so take it this value plus my processing time, this one, and enter it. Now copy this value and drag it and paste. Done. Right, now I'm changing the job assignment, definitely it will come up, but before that again stop, because job assignment is the one we used with the help of evolutionary solver. Now the due date, again the concept same, index, right, start with the bracket, array, select your full array over there, comma, your due, do make it sure that freeze this array. If you won't freeze this array, it will create a problem because you won't able to use it for the further data. So definitely freeze it. I'm just doing once again, select this job array and freeze it immediately. This is freeze up. Now comma, right? Now you have to select it. Due date is on which array? That is on third. 1, 2, job processing and time, it is on the third one. So we selected third, comma, again, the first one is on the first, this select this one, D20, close the bracket and enter. So you have having a look, we just copy up and the paste the data and we find it 12, 24, 60, 28, 24, 36 and 48 is your due date. Right, now coming up to the next category, are lateness. I already told you, lateness will be your completion time, at what time you have completed your work, that is the 4, but your due date is 12. So this value minus what the value is, you have to minus the due date. So this, copy this value and paste up showing this. Tardiness is that which we make it that if your value is less than minus, you make it as 0, and if it is more than is in a positive, that will be common. So that will be called as a tardiness, otherwise nothing important. So we use it in the formula like max, we use it as max, max, bracket open, right? Your lateness over there, right? You make it as of 0 first of all, because you want 0, max of 0, comma, your my negative sign, bracket close and enter. That is tardiness. So see, it's showing as your value is less than 0, going in the negative sign, minus 8, so showing 0, minus 11 showing 0, but if it is positive 13, 26, 28, it is all showing in a positive value. Right, now the next step is what we have to find out the average lateness. Why we are finding the average lateness? Because we have to given in the question that you must find the sequence of the job so that your average lateness is to be minimized. So your objective is to find out average lateness should be minimum. So find out the average lateness. How we find it, this average? Make it again using the concept of is equals to average, AVERAGE, right? Tab your number, average lateness, select all the lateness value over here and bracket close and enter. Now you find that average lateness is equals to average, bracket open, right? And then select the values of lateness. Sorry, so is equals to average, bracket open and select this value and your bracket close and then enter. So we find that the average lateness is 5.286 and the average tardiness is nearby 13. Now actually what we have to find out the job assignment, the sequence properly. And this way, if I have to find out the job sequence, now I am employing the new concept, that is the data, go to the solver. When I'm going to the data solver, remember we are finding this job assignment. So before doing this, I just make it highlighted so that it will be visible to you when the answer came up. Right, now remember, what's your main objective is this average lateness, right? So that you have minimum. So we have to start the minimum. So go for the data first of all, go to the solver. In the data solver, what's your average lateness should be minimum. So go and select this average lateness on the top priority. Then 2, it is given 2, max and min. Yes, we have to select the min. Why we select the min? Because we want this value to be minimum, right? By changing the variable cell, which cell you want to change it? What sequence you basically want to change it? Job assignment, right? So select that variable. Yeah, this one is this sequence, right? You want to change this. Yes, the most important point is now where is add the constraint. Now what is the constraint as per you? What should be the constraint? The first constraint is that these all the job assigned, whatever you job assign, that is not readable, not sequence should be come up in the repeated. So select it over here, go to the different. That all different, this is a new concept which I want to explain you. All difference that you have no need to make it that one sequence to become again and again. So this is one of the important constraints. Repeat it again. What you have to do, go to the job assignment, you have to add the constraint and your constraint is that all the sequence that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, your work is going on should be of different. So when we scroll down over here, less than, more than is equals to int, integral value, bin, binary value, binary number, and the last one is DIF. That indicates when you click on DIF, it automatically shows the category or constraint that is all different, right? Now we selected this all different. Hope you're getting this value. Now make it as add value. I have one more constraint over here. Yes, I want to add one more constraint. And what is that add constraints over here? Do have, just add it and check if it is showing okay. Okay, as we haven't put the value, so if I'm doing add, you have to check it. Again, showing the same point, coming up to the next cancel, I am not adding this value. See, one value is showing up all different, right? Just check this point when I'm showing all different. Make constraint variable non-negative. Yes, I don't want to be it in a non-negative, but now I'm solving a next concept, that's an evolutionary concept. Whereas the solver has a different method. In the previous session, we have done, we have selected the simplex LP method, but now I am using an evolutionary. Evolutionary solver, what will help in getting the evolutionary solver? Check by selecting the evolution problem that are non-smooth, but we select solve, click on the solve, and here it's going on. Finally, you get one dialog box and check it over there. Solver has converged to the current solution and all the constraints are satisfied, whatever the constraints you have given up. Keeping the solver solution, yes, I want to keep the solution, and click on the OK. Here we go, and finally we get the job sequence. And what is the job sequence over here, which we find out that on the first one is 7, person will go on the first one, then 4, then 6, 1, 5, 2, 4, and immediately when we are solving this evolutionary, we get the average lateness. See, check the answer, it's also get changed up, and the average lateness is also become less. And that definitely I want up, that will be less as much as we can. So normally when you go with this evolutionary concept, might it take some more time. Some system, when we go to the evolutionary concept or solver, it takes some more time. Don't worry ki ma'am, it's taking a process. Will it show it not? Yes, it will definitely show you and your sequence will come up. Okay, so thank you so much for today's session. We'll be back again.